Welcome back to the Productivity Podcast, where I give you a daily productivity tip so you can get the most out of your time, your talent, and your ideas. I'm your host, Brandon White. Here we go. Have you ever poured hours into a project that's clearly not going anywhere? Held onto a relationship too long, past its prime, just because you've quote-unquote invested so much time? Researchers call this the Sunk Cost Fallacy, and it's a sneaky little gremlin that whispers, "But you've come so far," even when you're up to your neck in what you can tell is a sinking ship. The Sunk Cost Fallacy is a master of disguise, convincing you to cling on to the past even when it's dragging you down. Think about it. Your brain is wired to avoid waste, to see things through. So when you put time, money, or effort into something, it activates a sense of ownership and, at the same time, the fear of loss of whatever you're holding on to. Letting go feels like admitting defeat, even if the alternative is a shiny new lifeboat floating by. Here's the good news. You can break free, and there's science to support how to make sure it doesn't happen to you. A study published in the Journal of Management Science titled Overcoming Sunk Costs in Ongoing Projects, an empirical study, explored practical strategies for helping people overcome the sunk cost fallacy in the context of ongoing projects. The researchers discovered there's a way to break free from the sunk cost fallacy, even mid-project. Researchers gave participants a taste of potential success with their projects, like a virtual pat on the back about how things could still turn around if they changed course, a vision of the future of making a change. And guess what? That nudge, along with a fresh little pep talk, actually helped people cut their losses and invest in new, more promising ventures. Another study, published in the Journal of Organizational Behavior and Human Decision Processes titled Sunk Cost Fallacy in the Context of Time Perception, investigated how sunk costs can distort our perception of time. Ever feel like those hours you spent on a doomed project just flew by? Turns out that's not your imagination. This study revealed that sneaky way sunk costs mess with our time perception. Participants underestimated the time they sunk into failed projects compared to their successful ones. This warped timeline makes it harder to let go. Here's some tips for you. First, recognize the fallacy at play. Ask yourself, would I make this decision today with a clean slate? If the answer is no, then it's time to say sayonara. Remember, those investments are gone, sunk like a bad vacation photo album. Don't let them dictate your future. Second, take a few minutes when you start to feel something not going your way and ask, can I see something else working, and how would that feel? That's going to give you a nudge into a different perspective. Third, remember that cutting your losses isn't failure. It's flexibility. It's about embracing new possibilities and making decisions based on what's best for you now, not what you've already poured into it. So the next time you're clinging on to a sinking ship decision, remember, the sunk cost fallacy is just that, a fallacy. Take a deep breath, weigh your options, and don't be afraid to ditch the past time and effort. You might be surprised at the treasure waiting for you on the open sea. Your move. Hey, real quick before you go, please remember to hit follow on your podcast player. You won't miss any episodes, and it helps support us bring you the show daily. Thanks for listening. We'll talk tomorrow.